All right. So, hey guys. um all right. So I'm in this one of these groups, right? And somebody was like, "How do you truly stop caring about what people think of you?" Not some sappy played out quote that you've seen on Facebook, but an actual way to achieve social freedom. I have read so many quotes and whatnot, but I just can't stop. I genuinely appreciate anyone's input. So that's why I'm up here, because I understand that on every level. Um, and I'm not a typer. I'm definitely a speaker. So I didn't really prepare, but I definitely have some notes here briefly just to talk about it. Things that makes you stop caring about what people think is to understand why they think that way. Understand these different aspects, okay? Because a lot of people, they want to be understood, but they don't want to understand. When you start understanding, you will be understood, not by everyone, but by a lot, okay? Because then you'll be able to know how to define yourself, okay? Which gets me into defining yourself. What does that mean to define yourself? That means to have a definite purpose. There's this quote that's stuck in my head from the song. The God of your understanding has chosen you, and you've agreed to be here in this space and time. Deep down in yourself, take the time out to find out the answer why you're here. What is it that brings you peace? What is it that brings you joy? What do you love doing? What would you love to do to help better the society in which you would like to live? When you find the answers of that, Nike sign, and do it. Do it. Okay. The problem about when we start listening to others and we think about what they're thinking about us is that we stop thinking and we start letting our emotions get buck wild. Part of ascending and becoming a master of yourself is to control everything. And the way how you do, it's to think. Think always. When you start trying to understand why people think the way that they do, you'll stop slowly but surely really getting the really getting your hands on why people do this. Okay? Let's see. What you want to study is psychology. Psychology will tell you. If you're spiritual, you want to study the reason why chakras work, why they don't work. Physically, you can find out how people treat themselves by how they look. Mentally, you want to learn what is your mind. What is your mind? Why is it the most important thing to take care of? Why is mental health so important? Because your life is what you think it is, essentially. What you think, so shall it be. Your mind will attract everything that you're looking for. Your mind will put you in places that you may or may not want to be, depending on what is your definite purpose, what you're doing about it, and who you're developing to be. Understand, when you are developing yourself, you will transform. Me, 2 years ago when I started this channel, did not look, think, talk like this at all. And it's beautiful to see my journey from then to now. And I know I'm going to keep saying that as I get older. But you have your 4 bodies you need to take care of. When you start developing yourself, slowly but surely, the people that talk about you will sound as loud as the summer winds. Okay? It's gonna be like, oh, breeze right by you. Because everything is love. Everything is love. Everything is love. That doesn't mean that everything is love and light. That doesn't mean that everything is like peaches cream on a Saturday night with a Sunday cherry on top. That means that when you start understanding, you'll understand why everything is love. Because everything has a purpose, whether it be deemed good or bad. It all has a purpose. It all has a background, and it all is working for a certain reason. You, as an infinite being, because when you stop thinking, you start limiting yourself. I'm going to get back to that. As an infinite being, you have infinite possibilities, but it starts with deciding and understanding. When you, okay, let me get back to the emotions. When you stop thinking and start feeling attacked, that is a disadvantage for you. That means that you don't understand something. So when you start doing that, take time out to research. Take time out to research ASAP. ASAP, okay? Let me tell you something personal. I have so many. But I'll start with recently because I don't remember everything, to be honest, especially not at this time. But I had to jump on here, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to sleep without doing this. So, one of my family members was saying that I'm not doing anything with my life. And I was like, what? What she talking about? She don't even know me. You don't even know me, sis. Which wasn't wrong, you know. She doesn't know my everyday life. But I also understood that people can be reflections of yourself. So why is it that do I feel like I'm not doing something with my life? Let me think about it. What am I doing? Then, of course, I got offended. It was like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm putting my value out here in life. Then I started thinking about it some more. More. And it definitely got me to new aspects in my life. And eventually I stopped thinking about the fact that she thought that, I'm sorry, I'm getting emails. She thought that I wasn't doing something with my life because I just started doing stuff again. And when you are ascending, understand that whatever level you're at is not your final form. Your final form is when you're dead. When you start understanding people and having social freedom, which was, what he was trying to figure out. Social freedom is understanding society and why they think the way they do, okay? Because whether we like it or not, we have to live in society when we're here. It's okay to blend in, to look like others, but it is important for you to think for yourself, okay? I got people, talking about Michael Jackson at my job, talking about, oh my God, can't believe he did that. And I'm just like, if you start adding up the implications are, but whatever. So you don't have to put your opinion everywhere. You don't have to agree with everything. But you have to learn how to blend in with society. Look like others and think for yourself. Okay? This is why I come on YouTube, because I like thinking for myself. And I like expressing my thoughts. Find an outlet where you're able to do that. It doesn't have to be this. It could be anything. But it's a part of your self-development. It's a part of your freedom in general. When you start letting your creativity come to life and allowing the world to see it, that's your freedom. Because eventually you'll start getting things that you need from that. The universe will look out for you as long as you look out for yourself. As in the Bible, it says, faith without works is dead. Thoughts without actions are dumb. You need to put your definite purpose to action. So, just to recap, because I'm not going to try to do this for a very long time. You have to take care of your mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical bodies. Your 4Ds. Once you start taking care of all of that, you will not see people talk about you. I mean, you may. I'm sorry. You won't hear it as heavy as you once did, because they'll sound as heavy as the summer winds, okay? That's my quote, and I'm sticking to it. Self-development does not give you time to talk about somebody. Understand that when you see somebody talking about somebody, that means they're not self-developing. There's a reason why they're on you rather than them being on themselves. Because if we all begin to be what we want to see in life, we won't have time to talk about others, because we'll understand how everything is love. And how is everything is love? It's about understanding them. Understanding them, then you will understand you. You will understand everyone on a whole. You'll understand what you're looking at. You'll understand why things are in the way they are. You might not like all of it, but it's not about being emotionally attached to your understanding. Get out of your feelings about everything. When you start getting out of your feelings about anything, you'll start controlling your emotions. When you start controlling your emotions is when you know, I can be happy about this. Like, well, not happy about it, but like, happiness, joy is good. Okay, that means something good is happening in life. Granted, we all know that. Sadness. We get sadness initially from the lack of understanding. And I learned that from psychology. Lack of understanding causes sadness. That's why somebody is sad. Not because, it's just sorrowful or like whatever, But everything all the way down to death is a reason not to be sad about it. Death. What is death? To transcend to a different part of the universe that's infinite. That's what death is. It's not the end all be all. Disappears into nothingness. When you watch Infinity Wars, Spider-Man, he turns into dust, like, I guess that was the part that got to me, because I was like, oh, his reaction was so like, but Spider-Man transcended to the, what's the word? What's Thanos' hand? Gauntlet. He went inside the gauntlet. Doesn't mean that he's gone forever. That means that he is in another dimension. That's death, okay? And instead of somebody coming and deciding for you what death is, where you go, knowledge will teach you where you need to go. So study the ancients, study the greats, and become greater. That is how you'll understand. And eventually you'll stop. This is nothing sappy. This is nothing that happens overnight at all. It takes years of understanding. At least it took me years, because I didn't know there was an outlet that, like, maybe somebody had a secret plan or anything. But I mean, not a plan, but something I can read and pay attention to. But everyone is out here doing different things. They'll teach you all different aspects and things like that. This is just my aspect. My aspect is to learn. My aspect is to continuously learn. That way, so I can grow, understand love. In society, we aren't taught about love. We're taught, oh yeah, be nice. But why? We aren't taught what that means, why we feel the way we do. We aren't taught to express ourselves. What is our hidden talents? All the time, depending on the society that you're in. But it's up to you to do those things. It's up to you to define yourself. And it's up to you to take your power and do something that you need to become. When I watched Captain Marvel and she turned into Captain Marvel, that's what we need to be. Okay, if you didn't watch Captain Marvel, It's alright. I won't give it away. But when she turns from green into red, white, and gold. I mean, red, blue, and gold. Alchemical colors, might I add. That is an iconic moment. We all need to have that moment. So I love that. I'm trying to... Where's that flyer? Trying to turn into this on the real, and understand that you will not have a final form in this journey. There's no such thing as a final form. Oh, okay, I got here, that's it. Not at all. Not at all. When you see people who are successful and happy in their lives, they always have a new look. That doesn't necessarily mean physically. Don't get me wrong. Like, as a female that loves, like, beauty and things like that, of course I'm gonna always have a different look, because that's what I like, you know, like. But that's besides the point. But understand, mentally, these aren't your final forms. Your final form is when you die. Not even. You don't have a final form. You wanna know why? Because we live in an infinite universe. And as we live in an infinite universe, that means that we have so many different possibilities. We can fit into anything, any crevice, any, like, anything. So, no, you will never have a final form. But it's time to get started and stop feeling stagnant. When you start feeling stagnant, it is a diss to yourself, more importantly. But I did read some good quotes. I mean, like, not quotes, but responses up here, so I won't, like, say that, you know, anything's bad. But these are just ways to care for yourself. When you start caring for yourself on your mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional selves, you won't have time for anyone else, because you have time to take care of yourself. And that indeed will put you in new places, bring you to new opportunities, and maybe somebody might look at you differently. Maybe, but that's not up to you. You can only control yourself. You can only control what you see. You can only control what you think, what you say. So it's not up to you as to who accepts what. Because when you start understanding why people are the way they are, then you'll know why they think the way they do. I'll give you an example. I have an uncle, right, who told me, oh, so you must think the sun revolves around you. And I'm like, in a way, you can definitely say that. You want to know why? Because this is my movie. This thing we call life, is my movie. I'm my story star. I'm the editor. I'm the director. I am the producer of everything, because everything is mental. So this is my setting. You know, I'm creating new goals. I'm creating definite purpose. And after I'm done with caring for myself at the end of every night, when I lay my head down, and then I go astral travel to learn more information, then come back and, like, you know, I study. And, you know, at the end of the day, at the end of my life, I'll realize, you're right, the sun does revolve around me. If I was to explain that to that man, he'd look at me like I was speaking Creole, which he didn't understand, okay? You gotta understand that everybody is on different levels. The level that he's on could be the fact that he was taught that he was dumb all his life, and I don't think that he took the time out to undo that, you know, and prove himself to himself. But instead, he tried to prove to others who he was. And then that is a way to be upset, because at the end of the day, you cannot control others and what they think of you. That's one. Two is, you know, like when you see a kid in class, they're bad, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're not being what they could be, but you see the potential You don't really know, well, let me not say you don't really know, but you understand that this kid can be great. Something happened to that man that kept him in that trauma. When you have trauma, you can do two things about it. You can always let that trigger control you and let your emotions become sporadic and shut you down. Or you can learn from that trauma. See, I remember that day when that happened to me. And I can understand on an empathetic, a knowledgeable way why on every side and what I'm going to accept today and what boundaries I have, because I'm creating this life for myself. That's where I'm at. So when people say certain things to you, understand that it's just where they're at in life. They might not be ascending, but we're in a self-mastery group. What? Everybody might not be ascending, but it's up to you to ascend. It's up to you to take form. It's up to you to take form of your life, to control it, to live for yourself truly and define what that is. When you do not have a definite answer for something in your mind, you allow fear to creep in and ruin everything for you. So you need to find an answer. An answer. Find it. Don't assume it. Take your time out to find it. You'll find it. Fear can push you into places where you need to learn so that you can go to the next level. So fear is not necessarily a bad thing. There's no such thing as bad. There's just balance. Find that balance. You know, find that half that, what's his name? Thanos went, took away half. Find that half. Find that balance within. And then eventually, I'll tell you what's around me now. I'm around, I'm around people that may not understand me, but they allow me to be me. And that's the best time ever that it could have. And that's all you can do. You can be the alchemist of your life. And to speak about alchemy, what is alchemy? The art of transformation. That is how you take yourself to the next level. That's it. That is how you do it. That's how you win. That's the cloth talk, okay? That's that land talk, okay? What? That's what it is. It's alchemy. So definitely. I have some stuff on my channel, some book reviews. If you want to start from there, if you think this is a good outlet. But there's a lot of people out there doing it big. So study hard, study well. Not long, study all. Study all. You start studying all, looking at it from a non-emotional perspective, it'll bring you to new heights. So that's what it is. That's what I gotta say. Hopefully that brings a better answer, because I could not type all that. I'll be honest. That was not coming out because it's too much. I can type an essay about maybe a history lesson, but definitely not this, because this is now. I'm speaking about the present, and there's something about typing it or writing it that I can't do it. So speaking about now, I'm putting prosperity your way, and I hope that it hits a point that is amazing and like brings you to a new electric part of your life. So all right, so that's what I have to say about that. When it comes to the next part about outwitting the devil, for those of you that will be watching, I'll get to it eventually. I just have to note my thing out. I'm on a few different things in life right now, so you'll know it when you see it. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say, and thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope we have a marvelous night.